Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, and good night, depending on where you're watching
That's
from.
true.
Hello from Topeka. I'm still here. Linda's still here. Aaron's still here. We're all still here. We've had quite a big week. Thank you to everyone that came to our Alabama Channon workshop and trunk show. We had our first night years ago at our at the Cyrus Hotel. We had a trunk show where Natalie Channon came. And then we followed that up with a one-day workshop with Natalie Channon, and then we had a 3-day event here at the office. So we're alive, we're here, we're doing great. So thank you to everyone that came to any of those events. It was fun to have you guys in Topeka. We love sharing our space with you, and we hope you guys had a good time. So I'm here today. I'm Alex, Linda's daughter. And today we're going to be talking about the Hudson top. But first, before we get to that, let's talk about what's happening in October. So happy fall, everyone. My favorite month, but I also do love winter, summer, and spring. So I love all the seasons. I'm a seasons person. So happy fall. And for our October project for So Confident, if you're not familiar with So Confident, it is our program where we produce monthly new projects for you, literally every month. So we always have something new going on every month for you guys to join in on. So this month, Linda filmed a video for the Florence shirt. We made a variation of the Florence shirt. It's kind of one of our most classic shirts. It's a button down with a collar and stand. It's a little bit lengthened. I like to wear it as a kind of oversized tunic. But this month's version of the Florence is a variation that's right behind us. The Draped collar Florence shirt online workshop. So say that 10 times fast while I tell you about it. So we've used it in a polyester crepe. The variation of this means that we have changed the hemline for the Florence. We've taken away the cuffs for the sleeves. And then we have this wonderful collar drape detail. So the great thing about this project for So Confident is we actually give you this pattern piece already graded if you purchase this online workshop for the Florence Draped collar online workshop. So you get this collar, you get this piece, which is a really interesting detail, and it's really interesting how it goes together. Linda teaches you how to do this in her video, how to not really assemble it, but apply it, and how to work with this fabric, all the materials and things you would need. So if you purchase this class for $50, you get access to everything we're doing in October, which, like I said, is Linda's video, which is over an hour of amazing content. You get access to 2 Zoom Q&As, which, hello So Confident members, we'll see you on Friday for our first Q&A, and then our second one is the next week. And you also get access to our kits, where we do have multiple colorways of this fabric for this kit. So here is what color is this one?
Well, Merlot, I think it was, maybe.
Yep. So we have Merlot, and it comes with enough yardage to make any size of this Florence, plus matching buttons.
I think we only have one of this color left, but we have one. We have some of this color,
We have,
fuchsia.
The fuchsia.
We have some lime.
You guys might have seen in the opening slideshow, so every live stream we have kind of an opening scene of photos that happen before the live stream starts. Erin looks beautiful in this color, so this is the fuchsia kit, again coming with buttons and thread to make this project. So that's what's happening in October.
All right. Well, I always do my little giveaway fabric.
Oh yeah.
From my stash.
What if I want this one? Because I remember what you're about to show, and I remember wanting to have it for myself like years ago. So whoever gets this, I want it also. So if the person that buys it wants to then sell it to me, that would be great.
Well, since it's Alabama Channon conversation still kind of happening around here, and we do have how many colors do we have? 10 or so new colors. I can't really remember. 2 rows on our stand. We are now recarrying the Alabama Channon organic cotton, all American made cotton. We didn't carry it for a while, and it's back, and it's a beautiful, beautiful all cotton knit fabric. I love it. But, if you buy a kit, from them. It's a stenciled fabric. And every once in a while, particularly if you go there, you can find a box of goodies. So my little goodie purchase a few years ago was actually not a stenciled fabric, but a printed fabric, which they only did one of. It's kind of a one-off thing. I think they were experimenting with other processes of getting design on fabric. So this is their knit in a parchment color, and then it's printed with this design, which you can just use like this, or you could do their famous, you could buy some more of our fabric, this color, and have that second layer and stitch around these designs and then cut out the inside of it and leave just a little edge of this dark. It changes it totally. So either way, this is 2.5 yards and it's 60 inches wide. When I bought it, it was $50 a yard. So this particular piece I would have paid $150 for. So I'm selling it for $50. No shipping within the US. So that's from my goodie pile this week.
That's a great medium weight knit. It would be great for a t-shirt. It would be great for the Hudson, which is what we're going to talk about here today. We're all wearing Hudsons, and we have a lot of Hudsons to show. So you can make a Hudson with that top, which would be great.
Well, I think the Hudson top is just one of our most classic, universal, versatile garments. It just never looks the same. It doesn't matter what you do with it. You have on one that we can talk about. Maybe we'll show the pink one a little bit later about this one. But it does come with a cowl. I guess we should show it sort of like it does happen. I need to ask Erin a question on this. It used to come in 2 lengths. Does the digital version have the 2 lengths, or is it 1 length?
Well, that's a great question.
I just printed the pattern downstairs, and I don't think it came in 2 lengths.
Yeah. Okay, well, perhaps not. So it's a shorter version. So this has been lengthened.
Yeah.
I have on the original length. You have on a lengthened one. This is a lengthened one. So I think what I have on is the length of the pattern. Okay. But at any rate, it does come with a cowl, neckline, long sleeves, but it's a very boxy, generally oversized garment. And so you can make it super oversized like it was meant to be, or you can probably come down a size if you make it. I can wear a small in it. I have on a small. I don't know what size you have on. I haven't really checked. But normally I might make a medium in this, but in this I made a small. So at any rate, normally there's a cowl neck, long sleeves, and this length. We'll talk about this one in a minute. But this conversation started because of one that Deb made, and she walked in the other day, and this is just so cute. So I believe I don't think she shortened it, so maybe this is the length. We don't know how long this garment is. We'll have to check that out. Maybe Betsy can check out what the length is. But at any rate, she made this, and this was the start of the conversation. So she left the cowl neck. She has the long sleeves. She did a couple of things to it, which we're going to talk about. But it is easy to leave the cowl off and make it without the cowl. So how would you do that, Alex? How would you take this cowl and do this?
Well, you could use again, you can do a cowl, the full length from the pattern, but then you could also, make the cowl any length if you just wanted a, shorter version of a cowl, more narrow or wider. So it doesn't have to be this tall. I think Deb said this basically goes all the way around her head. So you could, of course, adjust the length of the cowl as needed.
Right. This could even probably be folded in half, doubled. And particularly if you're using a fabric that doesn't have a side on the inside that you're crazy about, you could double it.
But this is just using our traditional ready-to-wear neck binding technique. So if you measure the pattern for the neckline, then you can just use our 7/8 neck binding method, where you would measure on the pattern the front and the back of the neck, and then you would need to create a neck binding piece of fabric. So then you would measure that front and back, and then on the pattern, and then take the 7/8 measurement of it. So you would times that measurement by 7/8. I just do it on my phone. Take that full measurement times 7/8. And then that's the length that you create for your neck binding. And we generally do 2.5 for neck binding.
Actually, it is, well, let's talk about that. So if this is a 1/2 inch showing and a 1/2 inch on the back side, that's 1 inch, and 2 seam allowances of 5/8 and 5/8, I think that's 2.25 wide. That's my traditional width that I cut the bindings. But whatever distance, whatever amount you want this to show, that's how you calculate that. Front, back, and 2 seam allowances. Actually, you could probably take this pattern piece that's already meant to fit this neckline if you want this wide of an opening, and just cut this down to 2.25 inches. If you want to change the shape of it,
It'd be easier.
yeah, but this might be too wide for some people. I think it might be. So if you want to reshape the neckline in any way, then you do your 7/8 calculation. And it's always a good practice, because frankly, I don't know but what, I haven't measured this to know but what this is not 7/8. It's very possible you need to do what you just talked about to draw this in a little bit. It may be that this is just a 1-to-1 ratio, and that's not what you want on a binding. So I think you're right. So that's one way, and see, we've used the, just contrasting stripes for the body and the sleeve. Erin made a dress, which is fantastic, kept the cowl, just lengthened the body, that's all she did, and used the same sleeve. And you could wear this with tights or boots, or both.
We all swear we've never seen this until today, so.
I know, and she said she's worn it a couple of times. I just don't remember. This is a raw edge on the bottom, which is a great idea on a knit. Both the sleeve and the sleeve's actually been hemmed, now that I look at this a little bit differently, and the bottom is a raw edge. But everything else is constructed as you would. Here's one that we talked about in a Facebook Live or a streaming, so I don't know when, a while back. And we have an index for these, the series that we do on Tuesday, so you can always go back and find. This is called the
Cool, breezy
Hudson Poncho.
Breezy Hudson Poncho. This is on the blog.
Yes.
So if you just go to our website and click on blog, then on the blog page, you'll see kind of on the, I believe, right-hand side, a list of all the patterns that we feature in the blog. So if you click on Hudson, then you'll be able to see all the blog posts we've ever done about the Hudson. And this is the Breezy Hudson Poncho. So
right. So this is a super easy. This is just using the front and the back, no sleeve, hemming the edges so there's no side seam anymore, and attaching some ties to draw it in at the waist. And then the neckline is finished. Because this is a woven, this neckline is finished with some bias binding tape that you buy in the package. So
this is done in linen, but it's sort of fun to think about this maybe with some of the sweaters we're talking about for fall, because this could be like a transition piece that you're wearing over something anyway.
That's right.
So you're wearing over a t-shirt or a long sleeve shirt, and then you make this version. And in the blog, we teach you how to do this. The technique is listed in the blog with pictures. So, you could make this version in one of these sweater fabrics we're going to be talking about.
Since the neckline is the same as the neckline when you apply a cowl, you could make a Hudson to go under it. And then the necklines would absolutely fit together. I just thought of that.
It'd be cute. Well, I'm all decked out in the Hudson today, which we'll talk about the pants in a little bit. But I'm wearing both the Hudson top and the Hudson pants.
Here's one I did for a craftsy class on overlocking, serging, and cover stitching. So I know I've pulled on that myself a few times. And I need some scissors. But at any rate, I just divided the front and purposely chose a stripe burnout type knit, and then cut just didn't pay any attention to the grain, just changed the angles of the grain and then flat locked these back together. So that's a fun, this is a more summery piece because of the burnout and the pink and all that. But that, if you have the Craftsy class on cover stitching, I talk about how to do this in that class.
And then you used a matching pink fabric for the
I
neckline.
did. Yes, I did. Yes. So the one you have on and this one, these are actually in Alabama Channon lightweight knit fabrics, which we don't carry. They have them. You can go to their website and buy this weight of fabric. But the thing I've noticed about the lightweight is see how sticky it is?
Yeah, before we got on the live, Linda was picking at me quite a bit.
So I
think
think
it's very sticky and kind of.
yeah. So if you wear something like this, you might want to wear a more of a lingerie fabric tank kind of thing. So it's a little bit slippery and the fabric just hangs better. But the reason I want to talk about this, and it's the same way on yours, is that normally the cowl has a seam up the center back. But I saw a garment, I don't remember where or whose or what, but the seam was actually shifted to the side. And the seam is actually finished on the outside. Hold this just a second. So that when you wear the cowl and it covers up the seam, and then you have a finished seam that's exposed when the cowl is crunched or turned down. I thought it was a really cool idea, and I'd never thought of it. Mm-hmm. With this very lightweight fabric, and it could be cotton or viscose or whatever, all I did was leave the edges raw and then use a 3-thread seam finish to just construct the whole garment. I don't do that very often, but the fabric just sort of kind of spoke to me like that it needed to be a very lightweight seam finish.
And with the hems, you just left them completely raw.
Completely
with the cut
raw.
edge.
Mm-hmm.
So,
It's jersey, so you get this little curl, which I think is nice. I think that's fun.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's go back to the,
you guys, but they might be having trouble with Alice's mic.
okay.
Let's try that one.
So this one, which is back to this one, you might be interested in the hem finishes on this, on the sleeves and on the bottom. Since this again is a stripe, I actually cut a narrow strip of fabric about 1 inch wide on the diagonal, on the bias, which didn't have anything to do with bias or cross grain or whatever, but I wanted that diagonal line. And so this is a 1-inch piece of fabric that's been but folded in half. And so when it's applied, it's sewn along the fold, and you have 3 raw edges on the bottom. It's just a nice way to weight a lighter weight fabric and add a nice little detail to it. So that was done on the bottom and the sleeve.
Is this something you saw somewhere or made up? Or?
I think so, but this is just old enough now, I don't remember where. But surely I didn't invent it myself, I'm not that smart. So I think I saw it somewhere. Yeah. All right, so those are some variations. Let's talk about what Deb did.
Sure.
So this fabric is the same fabric that we're going to talk about in a minute over here. But I love a couple of things that she did. It is the original cowl. It is the original sleeve. But I love the way she left the sides with a big vent. So she wears this obviously over a t-shirt or something. So she sewed this down for 3 inches. I think we have a little schematic of that we can show you. So when you're cutting this out, you mark a little dot at 3 inches down. Now she just turned the 5/8" seam allowance to the inside and stitched it. But I think that to make this a little more thought through, perhaps, and she admits that she wished she'd done it, the hem, I think, is 1.5 inches. So it's kind of a deep hem. Well, is that what it is?
1.5 1.75 inches.
1.75 inches, okay. So go ahead and add 1.75 inches to the side seams, starting at about 5/8 of an inch above that dot, and maybe creating a little diagonal, and then come down so that you have the same hem in that vent opening as you do across the bottom. I think that would look really nice. When you look inside the garment, you'd see a deeper piece of the right side of the fabric.
And that also helps because then you're not doing a asymmetrical miter.
That's right. She struggled with the miter on the corners because the two hems were different widths, which, you know, is not super hard. I just think that's not something she's ever done, and so it was new to her. We have a tutorial. I never can think of the name of this tutorial.
Sew miters with Linda Lee online workshop.
There you go.
Linda did a video, a live Zoom a few months ago. We recorded it, and you can purchase it for $10. I think $10, and it's Linda actually showing you in live demo, a recorded live demo, previously recorded, of her doing miters. So, and we also have a book which isn't on sale this week, but you have a wonderful reference book that's sold both digitally.
Only digitally.
Only digitally. Her Mastering Miters booklet that's digital. So
Right.
you can purchase that too. So kind of the two references for mitering are both the online workshop and her book.
Right. So you have the first miter in the book. There are 7 miters in the book. And the first one is creating a diagonal miter where the two hems that come together are the same width. The second one in the book is where, as is this, different widths coming together. But to do what I think is the easier one, then create that deeper hem at the vent. The other thing that I've been doing lately is narrowing the sleeves. These sleeves are fine. You can see they're fine, but I tend to like them a little bit narrower now. I think that just updates it a touch, and I like taking out a total of 2 inches. So we also have a schematic on the screen where we show you how to measure in 1 inch on each side of whatever size you're making, and taking it back up to create the same width at the arm's eye. Of course, you can do whatever width you want. You know, you could measure wherever you're going to wear this sleeve, measure the circumference of your wrist, add some ease, and then figure out how wide you really want it. Or measure something that you have in your closet that you like the width of and just duplicate that. Remember to add seam allowances to this. You know, if you're taking things away, be sure add back the 5/8 inch seam allowances on each side.
I was looking at pictures of the Hudson yesterday. You have a picture of you wearing one in short sleeves. So you've made this with short sleeves as well.
Yeah, we've made this, as you can tell, in a lot of ways. I just think it's I don't remember when we put the pattern out, but it's been a while. And it's still absolutely all over ready to wear. It's as good today as it was the day we put it out. And it's super, super easy to make. So.
I am going to apologize again, but so I'm talking on a mic and I just want to make sure it's working. So if we could just, you know, fix the problem instead of going back and forth. So we still had some comments, so I just wanted to make sure. So can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
So maybe we'll get
I
some
can hold
response
both,
and
maybe?
maybe just hold that. And
Sure.
then hopefully it could be, you guys are projecting at different levels too. So let's just
Okay.
see if we.
I'm louder, right?
We had this trouble with the double mics a week or so ago too, so we need to investigate that, I guess, for the next time. Sorry about that. I don't know, this technique thing, you know, whatever. Okay, so let's talk about, we've talked about kind of some of the changes that you can make, but how do you sew these knits in general? There are just a few 3 or 4 key things that we always tell people when sewing knits. So thread.
So we always use polyester thread on knit fabrics. The polyester thread will have a little bit more give, a little bit of stretch as you're sewing the knit, which is helpful. We will always suggest using a microtex needle, so something that's really sharp, and the size can be like a 70-10 microtex, maybe a 60. And then we always say to use a walking foot or a dual feed option. So that will help the presser feet glide over the fabric much nicer.
And
else?
fusee web.
And fusee web. So for hems, for securing the neck binding or the cowl, a fusee web is your kind of go-to securing notion to help you and assist you in really having really nice, crisp, clean hems, specifically.
It basically replaces basting. I use it instead of basting, hand basting, like I used to.
Yeah, I go through it
keeps
quite
you
a lot.
It keeps the hems from creeping, and I call it torquing. It's settled in there. It's nailed down. Now you just get to sew it. You don't have to think about manipulating the fabric. So, all right. So let's talk about pants. Hudson
Talk
Pants.
about pants.
It is two different patterns. Is that correct? Yes. I think the silhouette, Alex has on Hudson Pants, I have on Picasso Pants, but the silhouette of the more oversized top with the narrow leg, I think is a great silhouette. This is a pair of just Hudson Pants, like they are, like what Alex has on. Nice, simple, elegant, fairly straight leg, but there are two darts in the front and the back. Two in the front, two in the back. So the darts end about right here. So they're long darts, they end below the knee. And we tend to wear these pants a little bit at the ankle or right above, a little bit on the short side. Now, we've done a couple of variations of it. So here is a pair of Hudsons in this fabric. This fabric is a two-sided, well, it's not in this colorway. Sorry about that. I was thinking the other side was gray, but it's blue. But we have three fabrics on the wall that are double-sided knits. These are really hard to come by. This one's blue and this one's red. But here it is in gray and red. And so these darts are now sewn on the outside and cut open so that you see this little hint of the opposite color. And because it's knit, then you can have a raw edge at the bottom, and that allows those darts to stand away, and they're not nailed down by hem or something like that.
Yeah, I love these. When Erin and I were setting up here yesterday, we mentioned how these fabrics are perfect. Really, all of them, maybe except one, and we can show you. These are perfect to use for the opposite top, for a top. So you could make just like what I'm wearing the whole Hudson ensemble here today, the top and the pants. So these are the Hudson Pants where that dart is on the outside, so it's showing through that other colorway. So you make a Hudson top in the red, or whatever the opposite side of the fabric is, because a lot of these are fleece backed or double-sided, so these fabrics could really be cool to just be able to use both fabrics for both the top and the pants.
That's a good idea.
But I love the way Erin did that. Again, I've never seen this. She pulled these out yesterday, but I loved how the darts are showing. It's a really great way to kind of accent the design detail. And then Samantha has been on our live stream lately too, and she has made the Hudsons without the darts. So
Right.
That's another way to go. If you don't like or don't want the tapering at the end of the pants like this, just leave the darts out.
Yeah, that becomes just a straight leg.
But I wouldn't call these wide leg pants. I wouldn't call them narrow pants.
Yeah.
But these are, people try these on a lot at our workshops.
Well, I think the trend now is to have a little something going on at the bottom of pants, whether it's darts or panels or, I don't know, buckles and pockets and yes, all of that. And so last year, for So Confident in February, we made these and we created these overlapping bias panels for the bottom. So this is a linen that we got from England, and we don't have this fabric anymore, but we do have this, which is the same vendor, same manufacturer, same weight of linen. It's a fall weight of linen, I think. It still has good drape, but the colors are a little more of a fall kind of color. And in this, so we have the standalone class that teaches you how to make these pants, teaches you how to create this pocket, gives you the pattern pieces to do this, and how to construct it. But another thing about this class is it teaches you how to match the plaids. It's a super easy way, and that's where FusiWeb comes in again. So I'm not afraid of plaids anymore ever since FusiWeb came into my life. Super easy to do now. So don't be afraid of a plaid just because you don't want to mess with lining them up.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you could look like every other ready-to-wear piece on the planet and not line them up.
So yeah, these don't have the darts. I forgot if you said that, but there's just no darts at all,
yes,
and just this bottom detail. So like Linda said, the So Confident online workshop for the Hudson Pants variation is on sale this week. So that class is normally $50, but you can get that class on sale and learn how to do this technique and all the techniques Linda just mentioned, matching plaids, the pocket. The Hudson pant normally does not have pockets. Right?
Correct.
Yeah. So the pocket is.
This is actually our West End pocket that we use in so many things. In our Chesney pants, we've added it to the Hudson pants many times. Yeah, it's the best pocket for a side seam pocket that I know about. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
And these would be fun. This variation of Hudson would be fun to use in maybe these sweater knits as well.
Well, that's right.
You know, where you could use the variation with the wrong side or a different knit, but it's hard to kind of see in the plaid. You can see that it's on the bias.
Right. But you could even have, let's say you used like this, for example, which has a darker side. You could use the front of the overlap in this and just have a little bit of the dark peeking out there, mm-hmm, just a little touch, not the whole thing maybe. Mm-hmm. Just an idea.
Fun.
Okay. All right, so let's talk about some fabrics.
Do we have any questions about the Hudsons in general before we do that?
We did have a few questions. People love the linen, the plaid linen. This was about the Hudson top. Do I need to add a seam allowance to the 7/8 ratio for the binding?
I don't add any. When I calculate the 7/8, I do not add a seam allowance, and I sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Now, this technique is all over our tutorials. So if you need some assistance, it's the swing tee from 2010. It's the our skill building tutorial.
Yeah.
It's
fine tune
your sewing skills is where you can find that as well. So of how to apply it. I did a demo yesterday, or a couple days ago in Kansas, and these were some very experienced sewers. I thought the whole group was very experienced. But I talked about how I manipulate the fabric, and even a very experienced sewer learned something from just the handling of the fabric and the binding. So you may want to watch one of the videos where I actually do that. So.
I'm trying to think. You have a cover stitching workshop where you actually did neck binding.
Right. Did I put on the binding in that one? I can't remember.
Can't remember either. But it has been videoed as well. So we have videos of Linda doing it, which is helpful.
Yeah.
Linda, what fabric is your top?
My fabric is some sort of a lace, kind of a fluffy lace, I call it. It's not a stretch, actually. It's a woven, lacy fabric. And I, again, I don't have the cowl, but I created a little inside bias binding out of some lining fabric, some China silk, to finish the neckline. Otherwise, it's just made like the regular Hudson.
There was a great comment, Alex, on how much they love that necklace with your Hudson.
Oh, my necklace.
Aaron had to say that because that's Aaron's necklace.
I can't take credit for this necklace, yeah. I never wear long necklaces, but every time I put one on, I think I need to get one. So send me your tips, leave a comment. I didn't do a little icebreaker today, but leave a comment. The best place you think you found your most favorite long necklace.
There you go.
Mine would be Linda's gifting
Yeah.
abilities.
Linda's,
Like-
again, I've said it before, Linda's a master at finding all the coolest things wherever they live.
This necklace I bought in a vintage shop in Eureka Springs. And supposedly it came from Neiman Marcus at one time. I don't know.
Okay, how much stretch do you need for the turtleneck or for the cowl?
You don't need any, actually, because we have made the Hudson in wovens and not done any differently with the cowl. And you can get it over your neck. The opening is wide enough.
For the dress, someone asked if we narrowed the bottom of the dress, and no, it's not narrowed, it's just straight down.
Just straight down. It did kind of look narrowed when I looked at it as well, but I think when we actually stretch it out here, you'll see that it's just straight down.
And then someone also asked how much yardage you would need for the dress. I think it just depends on how long.
Right.
you
Let's
lengthen
say
it.
you added 18 inches or so. Just get another yard or a half a yard at least, if not a yard, depending on the width.
Right.
It'd be fun to add vents as well to a dress.
That's true.
The same technique that Deb did for hers, you could do the vents for a dress.
That's right. That's a good idea.
The holidays are coming, everyone, so you might need a cocktail dress or a Halloween party,
Yeah.
fall party dress. Good option.
Oh, and we did, I don't think we have it up here, but we had the class on the Hudson dress.
That's right.
Oh,
Yeah,
we didn't bring
we
that
did.
up, and that was in silk charmeuse.
Yes.
Speaking
We
of the
thought about that
holidays.
yesterday, but yeah, so that's another online workshop we had. Erin, well, I think Samantha actually
Samantha
made
made it.
Samantha made this wonderful Hudson dress variation without the cowl, very boxy, not long, but maybe knee length or a little bit shorter, with a tie.
I know. I feel like there was some sort of tie thing. I haven't looked at that for a while.
So that's the Hudson dress variation online workshop. You can at least go to that product on our website and see the pictures of Erin wearing that dress. So, and that's made in a silk.
If you're making the Hudson in a knit, do you need to change the size?
No, you don't. I was talking about that yesterday with some of these experienced sewers. We rarely, and I rarely, change sizes if a pattern is built for a woven and I've made it in a woven and I'm not going to make it in a knit. I do not change sizes. The only time I might consider it is if the knit is super, super drapey, like the old slinky knit. Remember that? That's a size that maybe I would go down. But for most knits, and particularly the ones that we're going to talk about today, no.
Oh, and we found out the origin of the necklace. Nora made it. So you did give me that.
Oh,
Is that right?
Yeah, Nora's like, I made that.
Thank you, Nora.
Well,
We couldn't figure
That's
out.
so funny.
Oh, that's so
Because Linda
funny.
gives me a lot of jewelry, I have to say. and
Yeah.
which is fantastic. And so,
Yeah, cool.
Nora.
Thanks, Nora.
Post your site in the comments. Or do you have a site? Or just your name?
Yeah.
Does she do like custom things?
I don't know if she does custom
Remember.
things, but every time she would come, she would bring a bag of
right.
jewelry and we would have a feast. Yeah.
so for Deb's Hudson top, the cowl looks narrower. Is it narrower?
No, it's not. No, this is the regular cowl. Now, this is a size small. But I asked her if she did any variations to this, and she said no, only this vent. That's the only thing that's different. So, I agree, it looks narrower, but it's not.
Okay, I don't see any other questions.
Okay. All right, so we have a group of fabrics that are like what Deb used. They're all cotton, organic cotton. They are from Denmark. And we've just discovered this series of fabrics, which I'm just crazy about. Of course, I love geometrics anyway. So these are, they sort of fit a category of fleece, sweater, sweatshirt, heavy knit. I'm not sure what they are exactly, but they're wonderful. So this one is a sort of heather, real soft. And it still has some drape, even though there's some body to the fabric. So we have this one, and then this is the one that Deb used. We had just a little bit of this left in this colorway in the light blue and navy and cream or camel. This actually is a different color than this, isn't it? More of a pink. We didn't have much of it. I saw that it sold, I think, this morning. We're checking to see if we can get more fabric. So we'll see. Betsy will know the answer to that, and will probably make some sort of an announcement about it. But I thought it was interesting that this is the color of the back. And all of these backs look good, so that you can be assured that when you make the cowl and you see the wrong side of the fabric, it's nice looking.
And I believe all of these, at least 4 fabrics right here, are certified Okeotex or something.
I don't know how you pronounce that.
Which is the new standard for sustainability in the fabric industry. So if you go to that website, it talks about how the fibers are responsibly made. So there's a level of sustainability with these fabrics.
Right. So this one is navy and burgundy, or not burgundy, but kind of a cherry red, actually, I guess. Love that colorway. And then this one is more of a strié in a bright red, orange red, and navy. May look black on the screen, but it's definitely a navy. So, but even this wrong side is certainly attractive enough to see it. So these are the weights that the sample of Deb's have been made of. And then we pulled out some other ones as well that we thought would be really good, either for tops or pants. This is sort of the top or pants side, is that correct? I believe.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I would make pants out of any of these, I think. So what's the fiber content on that one?
So this is a sweater knit with both black and white. It's polyester, rayon, and spandex.
Okay.
And Erin and I thought, of all the backs, this one isn't maybe the best, but still works.
It's fine, really, for an inside. I don't know that you would reverse this necessarily as the right side.
I really just want to go make a Hudson pant with the darts showing now. I loved that.
I know. So this is the two-sided. So one side is black and one side is charcoal, a heather charcoal.
This is the double-faced knit with black and a heathered gray.
What's the fiber content on this?
Polyester, cotton, and nylon.
How much polyester?
51%.
Okay, so it's about half and half, basically. Now this is something we just got in. It's brand new and it's very unique. It's also by Christian Dior, so it's a high-end designer fabric. And I think this...
I didn't know that.
That's right.
Cool.
It is.
This is a fleece back.
Very,
backed
very,
version.
very thin fleece. I mean, it's not like a thick fleece. So you don't really think of it as a fleece, but it is a soft, fleecy backing. And you don't see the print through it, so the backside looks good too. But this is just a nice geometric with navy and black and another kind of blue and then some red-orange in it. It's fantastic. There was a gal here at So Kansas who made her very first T-shirt out of this, and it was really nice.
Yeah, she was making the ivy.
Oh, that's right. She was making the ivy shirt. That's right. So here's the blue with the light gray backing. It's not backing. This is the two-sided knit. Same texture. You can't tell the difference between the right and wrong side on these. And then this one is the blue with the red-orange.
Yeah, we call it cherry and navy. There's a little orange in there too, so.
So those are our fabrics for the week, plus the plaid.
Can you guys guess what combination is my favorite? We were just pulling this up here and I thought, oh, these are fun together.
Oh, yeah.
We do have one more question.
Yeah.
Where'd it go? Oh, is the fabric Deb used black and white or black and cream?
It is black and white. This is a pearly gray white. Would you say?
Yeah, it's heathered white.
Yeah, but you would wear it as a black and white.
I'm gonna get a little closer, and then they also wanted a close up of the Christian Dior. So.
Okay. But there's nothing cream about it. You can compare it to this color right here and know that it's not in the beige, cream, ivory category at all. This has an intricate pattern to it, actually. These crisscrosses, there's a sienna brown in there and a couple of blues. It's quite interesting.
Okay, let's see if we have any other questions. Would the top fabric on the right tend to bag at the knees if you used it for pants?
This one?
Right.
No, because of the polyester and the spandex. This wouldn't bag.
And then when you were talking about fleece, do you mean sweatshirt fleece or polar fleece?
Sweatshirt fleece would be my answer to that.
Okay, no more questions.
All right. So Alex, what do we have on sale this week?
So of course we have the Hudson pattern on sale, so you can get both the digital Hudson top and the digital Hudson pants. The Make a Tissue Hudson top, which will show you the technique for sewing something like my shirt or this pink one. They're kind of that really lightweight tissue knit. That tutorial is on sale this week, as well as the Hudson Pants Variation Sew Confident online workshop with the linen pants that have that really fun detail at the bottom. So that workshop is on sale. Also, the tutorial Fine Tune Your Sewing Skills.
That has the miters and the binding, neck binding in it.
Perfect. And then you can get the Sew Miters online workshop. That's for $10. It's not on sale, but it is $10. And a great reference, a video reference of how to do miters with Linda. One thing I forgot to mention at first, Erin can put the slide, but we want to give a big thank you to Samantha. Big round of applause for Samantha. We love her. She's endlessly inspiring. So I want to just remind you guys to go to our YouTube page and follow Saturdays with Samantha. She has a online video there where she shows you how to make the designer tee, the swing tee in a French terry fabric that you see there in that picture. And she also just made a little video for us using this cool cowgirl panel. So that is on sale, our cowgirl panel knit fabric. She made a really cool, I believe, ET dress.
Yeah, it's either an ET dress or Cityscapes. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it might be Cityscapes. So if you go to YouTube, or Betsy can share the link to that little video she did where, you know, you've seen all the little playful videos people are doing where they're tossing up fabric and then suddenly they have something else on.
So cute.
So Samantha's, changed really quickly into that dress for us, made a video for it, and she's used that panel. So that panel is really, really cool. I love thinking about using that cowgirl panel for something similar to Samantha, using that big cowgirl with maybe a dress, but also just using it as a t-shirt, using maybe a contrasting sleeve, and also putting the panel on the back. I believe Samantha just used it on the front, and then on the back she just pieced the fabric together. So she made, again, I believe it was a Cityscapes now that we say that, although she could probably say. So that video is on our YouTube channel. Betsy can post that link. And that panel, again, is for sale, I believe, just through today. So that's our cowgirl panel of fabric. And it's just a really fun, interesting fabric. We always try to buy interesting knit fabrics now. We don't see a lot of them anymore. So, and that is sold by the panel. So I would recommend getting 2 panels, one for the front of maybe a dress or a shirt and one for the back.
Okay. All right. Is that it?
I think so.
Well, I have to say goodbye to you again today. You're heading back to Cleveland. We're going to be gearing up for our knit workshop in Cleveland in November, which is full, which is wonderful. And Samantha will be there for that as well. So
Maybe we'll do a little video from Cleveland. Who knows? So
yeah.
thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much. See you next week.